just my indulgence. I went back with Iggy Pop, and seldom in life do you get to go round twice at things and do something, but I did. In 2014, after Ron and Scott Ashton from the Stooges had died, I was just literally in bed one day, and Henry McGrogan called me, Iggy's manager, and he said, hey, Jim wants to call you. That's what we call him, Jim. And I said, great! And he called me and he said, Kev, we're going out on the road again. And we did 5 years with 14 to 19 around the world with Iggy Pop, private jets in South America, and I mean, it was unbelievable. Because the first time I did that tour, I really was green behind the gills and didn't really know what I was doing. This time I had much more of a clue, and we're older and we're better at it, and it was a lovely thing to play with him. Where's my paper gone? Right. I'm going to read you a little thing about Iggy. Shall I read a thing about Iggy? Yeah, I'll just read a little bit about Iggy's preparations, for life, because he's still going. It says typically Iggy will arrive 3 hours before a gig and ensconce himself alone in his trailer or a dressing room. He will often call me or the whole band in for a few minutes to discuss some small change in running order, or to let us know exactly when he will speak to the crowd. He will flag up a moment when he might go down the steps to crowd level and climb the barrier. After giving us these instructions, he will stay in his room. Often Iggy will spend time sitting in a chair that he will place oriented towards the audience, maybe doing qigong exercises. If the stage is a quarter of a mile away, he does this. He will ask what exact direction the crowd is in, as if he's sending energy towards them in readiness for the moment he appears. Gradually, over the 3 hours, he will undergo the personal transformation in which he morphs from James Osterberg, laid-back, polite, erudite, Midwestern gentleman who you could happily introduce to your mother, into Iggy Pop. Foul-mouthed, wild motherfucker who might rip your head off and shit down your neck if you get too close to him. An hour before the show, you can't even talk to him. Once we're all aboard on a minibus that has come to shuttle us from the dressing room compound to the stage, he will climb on last, shirtless, up front, next to the driver. The 5-minute drive will be punctuated by nothing but Neanderthal grunts and animal yelping from the front seat. We remain silent in the back if we know what's good for us, as we are now in the presence of the monster. The moment we arrive at the ramp to the stage, the noise of the crowd increases to a roar as they notice the roadie do a final walk-on and torch check the gear. We climb the scaffolding steps together and ushered into the entry point from where we can see the techs holding our guitars with straps aloft to make it easy to step into them quickly. Iggy gathers us in a huddle round him, his arms linked. He shouts into each of our faces in turn. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Then go, motherfuckers! We belt on the stage and the noise of the crowd becomes deafening. I'll just stop that for a second. I'll leave it going. Matt counts off, the drummer counts off, I Want to Be Your Dog, and Iggy bounces across the stage, arms flailing as he whips up the audience of 60,000 into a foaming frenzy. Typically, we power through songs with almost no gaps in between. As the one song's final chord is dying away, he will scream for the next one, sometimes in highly insulting terms. Come on, beat that drum, cocksucker! Or, skull ring, now, or I'll fucking kill somebody! As the energy gets fiercer, Iggy starts throwing stuff around. He can accurately hurl a mic stand right across a big stage, and it will land at the feet of the drum tech and noiselessly fly apart, but never once hit anybody. He's like a javelin thrower. He looks like dangerous chaos, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a master at work. The set rollicks by, it's front-loaded with the hits and the most famous songs. The Passenger, Lust for Life, 5'1", Night Clubbing. Towards the end, we start ripping into Stooges songs, Search and Destroy, No Fun, Down on the Street. Part of my brain is still being that 11-year-old kid hearing these songs for the first time as I grind out the riffs and hear my guitar howling across a 15-acre field. Sets end with the doom-laden industrial ballad, Mass Production, complete with ship horns and drones that continue as we quit the stage. Sometimes we look back and there's Iggy beating his chest and stomping around the stage for a full 5 minutes, displaying like an alpha gorilla fending off a rival as the crowd bay for more. Despite his age, there are always a huge number of young and beautiful fans in the front. Some performers of his vintage only attract their older fans who are often, like us, middle-aged, baldy, a little overweight. But not this lot. Iggy's crowd are all ages, and there are still girls riding on their boyfriends' shoulders, pulling their shirts up and waggling their memories at us. There are the crowd surfers, divers and moshers too, raising clouds of dust and whirling around in human eddies of joyful aggression. It's always like that when he plays, and the spectacle that unfolds at an Iggy Pop show never loses its thrill for me. At the end of the gig, when he comes off stage, Iggy is for a moment at least exhausted. He's escorted through a darkened backstage area by his manager and tour manager, or sometimes me. Ushered into a waiting car, Iggy either shoots away to recuperate in some sumptuous suite somewhere, or back to the dressing room for a glass of something red and French. Occasionally after a gig, where he was particularly happy with everything, he will shout out from his lair, "Hey Kev, come in and have a glass with me." Whereupon I, and maybe one other band member, will go into his room and often find him completely naked on a sofa, legs spread, wine goblet in hand. He will grin broadly and say, "Pull up a chair and sit." We share a few laughs, maybe a bottle of champagne, and chat about what went well in the gig, all the while trying to avoid making eye contact with his enormous penis. I think that, thank you. I think I'm going to play a little bit of something. Everything was made for you and me.